After leaving Dirt, we soon found ourselves on the twisty, narrow, one-way streets of Guanajuato with its maze of underground tunnels. We had no plans for the night. We decided we would feel out the city, and if we liked it, maybe we would stay the night and explore one more day, or maybe we would check it out and keep moving. Either way, we were excited to discover something new. Oh, and we were pretty happy Goose wasn't any taller. We made it to the parking in Guanajuato.
That was kind of an adventure. I went in the low range because it was kind of like this, and then I think we had 4 inches or something of clearance on the roof, but
yeah,
you know, you can't get out and check every
it's
level.
Not made for big trucks.
Well, and each level is not the same, so you're kind of like, is this one a little bit lower? I think this one could be a little bit lower. So we made it. Now we can go walk around and get something to eat. It's pretty awesome, I gotta say. Very touristy, but I'm marking our parking location.
Yeah, right, we won't find it again. Lunch is good. Chicken and enchiladas. By this time, we had decided we wanted more time to explore this colorful city, and we booked a cheap Airbnb for the night. Ourselves stuck in the rain and we can't find our Airbnb.
Well, I know where it's at. We just
can't find the street to get there because they're all little tiny streets that go nowhere.
And they all dead end eventually in someone's house. Found our Airbnb, we relaxed and dried off, and now we're gonna go get wet again and see the city at night. As we wandered the streets, the echo of drums led us to this little alleyway where on a random weeknight this was happening. It was captivating. You could feel the bass, and it made the city feel so alive. We made it back to our Airbnb, which by the way was the worst place we had stayed so far, and I found myself longing for Goose. But the view from the roof was pretty incredible. I also wanted to share with you the sound of a Mexican city at night. I still haven't gotten used to the amount of noise that is always happening.
to leave our little Airbnb and go find some coffee and maybe some delicious baked goods.
Definitely some delicious baked goods.
I'm pretty sure too we stayed in like a stoner apartment. Just
a lot of little pipes. It smelled a little bit weedy.
And there's a death staircase.
Yeah, that one's sketchy. The one going up to the roof is really sketchy. Sleeping in a vehicle more than or prefer it to a room.
Yay, we're back. I got my donut.
Didn't let it melt.
Now I had to eat it right now.
Mm-hmm.
You already ate yours, so you shouldn't talk.
I didn't already eat mine. It's in there.
What is? I'm eating mine, and it's good. Very happy. Good coffee. Good donuts.
Yeah, the key to good coffee, we're deciding right now anyways, until we get further south where most of the population drinks coffee, is College Town. And there's coffee shops everywhere. But in some of the towns we've been in, the whole town is just drinking instant. The restaurants, you go into like a bakery, and they're just having instant coffee. What?
We said goodbye to the colorful city of Guanajuato and headed out to camp. Where? We had no idea.
At a little campsite that we found on the side of the road, and it was fairly dry, so Tim is fixing for I think the third time.
Yep, third time in as many weeks. The original shock bushings lasted for 6 years of off-roading, and then these ones we've been getting at little auto parts stores here in Mexico have lasted for somewhere between like 2 and 4 days, depending on if we're off-road or not. They pretty much just disintegrate. The rubber falls apart. So we've been listening to this poor shock bang around in here for a couple of days, and time to get it done. This time we have some bushings for more of like a dump truck. They're kind of like hockey pucks, so we'll hope they'll work better. And then here are the little ones that we've been getting, but these are polyurethane, the other ones were rubber. So between either the polyurethane, which are a little too small, or these, which are probably a little too big, we'll see what works.
Alright, first one down. So it's left of one bushing.
So we're going to go with Well, I guess I'm putting it on. I don't know where that extra one is.
We officially made it without being seen.
Woohoo! Yeah, I know it's silly. It's not like we're doing anything illegal, but being in a different country, when you see a fence gate and then, you know, it goes 100 yards and dead ends, you go, am I on someone's land? I know in the U.S. this is not a big deal. As long as I close the gate and I don't leave trash and I don't try and move in and live here. But, yeah. I figure it's always best not to be seen, at least on the way in. Way out, you know, they see it and yelled at you and said, hey, that's my uncle's land or that's so-and-so's land. You go, oh, okay. Sorry. Bye. But I don't think anyone would care.
Nah. But it's always nice when it's a successful
I agree.
mission.
I like getting up and getting going early in the morning, and then the roads are way safer in the morning, just because there's less people, there's less buses, and honestly, as we've seen on like Saturday and Sunday,
Yeah.
every single person is driving away from the Tecate store with a whole lot of beer, and you know, we've seen people just laying down on the side of the road, drunk, getting passed out. So, you know, people drink pretty hard after working pretty hard, so I don't want to be on the roads with it. It's Saturday today too, right?
Yeah, it is. So hopefully we'll get somewhere halfway through today and hunker down for the weekend.
Sounds good to me.
Curvy day. It's a good thing I love curvy roads and don't get car sick too.
I'll make you puke.
We are taking a break and we pulled off to a little roadside restaurant. We hope we ordered what we think we ordered because it's hard when there's no menu and we're not the best at Spanish, so
She speaks pretty quickly.
Yeah, we get bits and pieces.
She's being very descriptive, which is good, but that's a lot to process. It's not like it's like, oh, we have carne asada tacos or whatever. It's all sorts of descriptive words, and I was like, oh, I caught like 3 of those. Or I caught the main ingredient.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds
I think
like
I like
steak.
that. I'll order that.
Yeah, I should have some. But
It's a nice stop from our curvy drivers getting sick.
what? Were you? Mm-hmm. You sure?
Yeah.
I didn't notice.
I might have thrown up. This is what we got.
And then this looks good too. That's a big chunk of cheese.
That was really good.
Got all over my face, and I don't care. Muchas gracias.
Well, we've struck out on a camp spot in this area, but it is so pretty and
Amazing.
steep. It doesn't seems like European.
Yeah, I mean, like every road is a sort of a steep
Yeah.
hill one side and not quite cliff, and then hill the other side with terrace growing. And if it's not terrace, then it's just for cattle and stuff like that. So pretty cool.
Very cool. A lot of cool views and pretty scenery, but no camping yet.
Yeah, I think in this area, like there was a logging area we passed, and at least in logging areas, they make roads just to cut trees. And as soon as you've cut the trees in that area and thinned it, you move on. So there's a lot of unused roads, kind of like in the States. In this area, every road is to a house or to another town, and there's just endless town after town after town. So
yeah, and mostly in between it's like ranch land, so it's fenced off and
everything's private.
Yeah.
Although we are in a biosphere preserva,
which doesn't seem to mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
We eventually gave up on finding a remote campsite and headed toward our first paid campground of the trip. It was near what we wanted to check out in the morning, a place called Las Pozas. So, feeling a bit defeated, we pulled in and paid, exhausted from our long day of hunting. We quickly made some dinner and got into bed. In the morning, we headed over to explore Las Pozas. Las Pozas, which means the pools, was created by a rich, eccentric Englishman named Edward James. He fancied himself a poet and artist, and he especially loved surrealism. He fell in love with the jungle climate as soon as he was introduced to it, and so, like you do, he acquired a coffee plantation, which he used to keep exotic flowers and animals. Unfortunately, after about 10 years, an unprecedented frost killed most of his delicate flowers, and he decided to restart with a sculpture garden that would also showcase his plants and animals. So, in 1962, he began the construction of what is now called Las Pozas, although he liked to refer to it as his surrealist Xanadu. The construction lasted for 22 years until his death in 1984. He had built 36 concrete sculptures, 9 pools, and all this spread out over more than 20 acres of tropical jungle. Although this is a huge tourist attraction, we both thought it was worth seeing. James certainly created a surreal, otherworldly feeling, and I couldn't help but imagine how mind-blowing it would have been to just wander around this place in its prime.
Wrong with your hand?
Must have touched the bush or something. I'm all sticky.
It's probably this.
About a mile and a half for 56 miles I put on it each day is expressway driving. About a month or two ago, the power steering pump started leaking.